Thanks for staying with us on The Real Story. It is finally happening here in Connecticut. Online sports betting is underway. There was a delay to the launch, and the state decided to not open the floodgates to everyone right away. Instead, the Department of Consumer Protection rolled out a soft launch. So what exactly does that mean? It's for 7 days, and it started last Tuesday. It's through 3 platforms with the Connecticut Lottery, the Mohegan Tribe, as well as the Mashantucket Pequot Tribe. Limited to 750 patrons right now through the online portals, and wagering is limited to certain times of the day. Commissioner Seagull said as long as no issues arise, online sports betting will be open statewide once that soft launch is complete. So how is it going so far? Are there any issues? Joining me this morning is the Commissioner of the Department of Consumer Protection, Seagull. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. So far, things have been going smoothly, so we're not anticipating a delay to the full launch when everybody in Connecticut who's 21 or over can start participating in sports betting online.
That's fantastic news. So it did start last Tuesday. So when is it scheduled then to open statewide for everyone? We're taping, obviously, we taped this on Thursday, but we're airing this on Sunday. So is it Monday or Tuesday, the beginning of this week?
Yeah, it would be the 7 days. So I guess next Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, so it's coming up. And this 750 people that are starting to test it out. I have a question because I couldn't figure this out after reading and reading your press releases. Is it 750 people total testing it out, or is it 750 people through each platform testing it out?
It's through each platform. So we've encouraged the operators to each sign up to 750 patrons to test out their platform. And it allows us to see how the platforms are working. It gives us enough people to make sure they can handle a significant amount of activity, but it's also limited enough where if a big problem did arise, it's more manageable to deal with.
I know we had Paul Mounds on our program talking about sports betting and them getting up and going online a couple of weeks ago. And he said it was complicated to set up online because you had to make sure that like GPS tracking was in place on these online platforms to make sure the betting was happening in Connecticut. I mean, what kind of challenges did you all face? Because I know the start was delayed. So what happened there?
There's a lot of things that need to go into sort of setting up the online platforms. So, right, they have to be geo-fenced for the state of Connecticut is a big piece of it because of the way federal rules work. Each state is regulating or choosing to regulate sports betting in their own way. And therefore, you can't be on the Connecticut platform if you're in Rhode Island or vice versa. So in order to participate in sports betting within a state, you have to physically be in that state, which of course online can be more complicated because especially as you get closer and closer to the border, really keeping track of is the person still within Connecticut when they're placing those wagers is an important part of this.
Yeah, so true. But again, as you said, you aren't seeing any issues with this. Has there been any like little bugs that they've had to work out that's working out now, or has it just been smooth sailing this whole time?
It's mostly been smooth sailing. I mean, maybe a little things here or there, some just clarification. Some of what we need to do is understand how some of the revenue reporting is happening. And so we've sometimes had some questions or needed some clarification on that, but nothing that has at this part raised, alarm bells for us.
What's happening with casino gaming online? That's not underway at this point, right?
It is underway.
Oh, it is.
That's soft launched at the same time. I think there's been a lot of focus on sports betting, but both of the tribes and their partners are allowed to offer online casino games. And so that is part of their platform and something they're offering during the soft launch. And we'll be offering once everything goes, fully live for the state.
Okay. And what about Connecticut Lottery? Are they up and running with their platform?
Yeah, so they're part of this soft launch too. So their platform is one of the online platforms that's available. They have not opened retail locations yet, but that'll hopefully be coming somewhat soon. But for now, right now it's all online and it's all 3 of the operators.
Any advice for people who on Tuesday want to sign on and try it out for themselves? I think this is something that's been kind of opened up by the state for
adults 21 and over to participate in. So certainly we don't want to discourage. I think a lot of people this can be a fun activity for them. I think we do want people to sort of assess themselves and consider whether this may be an activity where they want to impose some limits on themselves or even self-exclude from the process. But, I think for most people, can be another sort of more modern version of gaming that they can hopefully enjoy responsibly.
Yeah, I had said on a previous Real Story that when I was in New York State, up in Saratoga with horse racing, everyone was on their phones with Naira and doing that, and it was like foreign to me because I hadn't been, we haven't done that here, and it wasn't that way when I was going to college in that area. So it was interesting to see they have their own thing going on with what they decide to do weekly during horse racing season. I know we were talking about responsible gambling. Are there limitations online for someone? Because obviously going to the casinos, physically going there and doing that, that might discourage someone from constantly going and betting, but now it's all on your phone. So, there is the concern that for someone who might have a problem or a problem gambler, that could open the floodgates for them having issues.
Yeah, so there's a number of things. If you're concerned and sort of know this is going to be a problem for you, one thing you can do is just completely self-exclude. And we've created a self-exclusion platform. It's at ct.gov/self-exclusion. And you can sign up there, and then you can really block yourself from even being allowed to set up an account. But if you think you want to be able to participate in this, but you want to impose some limits on yourself, one of the things that we require with each of our platforms is that they have features that enable people to do that. So you can go in and limit the amount that they'll let you deposit or spend, or the amount of time that you can spend on the platform. And that's a way, if you're worried you may get so involved and things may get out of hand, you can, right up front, place those limits on yourself to do that. In addition, we want to make sure, like when you log in or off, there's going to be a pop-up or a message kind of giving you information on how to get help for problem gaming, how to self-exclude, how to impose these limits that I was just talking about. Also, the platforms will let you know sort of the time and duration of your prior session, which is another good way. I think sometimes you get involved, you're watching games, you're having fun, and you may not fully appreciate how much time you've now spent doing this. And so it's good to kind of get that reminder of that, so you can kind of start to recognize if you're spending more time on this than you intended.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The phone itself can be addictive without, gaming and gambling on it as well. Real quick question, how do you make sure that someone who's going on these online platforms is of age? I mean, are you like taking a picture of your license? How does that work?
So, and that's an example of one of the, technical features that we really wanted to be sure was working. And so each platform needs to have, it's kind of a know your customer feature, and they need to have a way of identifying, okay, is the person who's signing up really the person they claim they are? Are they of age? Are they authorized to be gambling? And so, each platform may do it a little bit differently, but that's an important feature, and that's one of the ones that we really wanted to kind of test and make sure is working during this process, both leading up to and during the soft launch.
All right, Commissioner Michelle Seagull, thank you so much for coming on The Real Story and giving us an update on how this soft launch is going.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Have a good morning. And that does it for us on The Real Story. If you want to watch these segments again, head to fox61.com or download the Fox 61 app and watch The Real Story every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox 61. Have a great morning.